Back when nothing truly mattered and we hadn't had a clue. We fell in to play the game. Nothing would ever be the same. There were times when there was laughter. There were times when there was joy. But they took it all away for the pleasure in our pain. Welcome to our whole new world. Shine a light on everything. Please don't be scared for what we know. Welcome to our whole new world. All the lie you tried to hide away from the scars we made. This is your chance to understand we did not design this plan that was built for you. There's nothing you can do. This is my warning, this is your sign that you can't go running high. We will fight for you. You know it to be true. Welcome to our whole new world. Shine a light on everything. Please don't be scared for what we know. Welcome to our whole new world. All the lie you tried to hide away from the scars we made. From the scars we Welcome to our whole new world. Shine a light on everything. Please don't be scared for what we made. Welcome to our whole new world. Shine a light on everything. Please don't be scared for what we made. Welcome to our whole new world. All the lie you tried to hide away from the scars we made. Welcome to Back when nothing truly mattered and we hadn't had a clue. We fell in to play the game. Nothing would ever be the same. There were times when there was laughter. There were times when there was joy. But they took it all away for the pleasure in time.
En audio. And welcome to Nerd TV for another SRA Late Model Stock Tour series live from. Wait a minute. Are we on a road course?
Oh,
Yes, we
you
are.
see that
We are.
right.
We are on the Roval at Charlotte. That's right. We're not wrong. I mean, this might be wrong, but we're here and we're doing it for the Nerd TV Countdown to Green, presented by Icon Apparel Company. Some of the best apparel on the sim world that you'll ever wear for your teams. But here we are. We're turning right and we're turning left and we're turning right and some left again. And look at the weather on the track. 45% humidity, 78 degrees in the sky, partly cloudy, basically no wind. So that's what the weather looks like here tonight. This are a late model stock tour. My name is Jeremy Stanley, aka Jay Swifty. And to my right side, co-producer, broadcaster, the guy who wants me to try to eat my sandwich faster than humanly possible, Dustin Loxton. What's going on?
You act like you didn't know when the start time was, man. It's the same
I
start
had to
time
go
every other
shopping. I
week.
have my sandwich
But you
here.
know what? I'll let it slide this time because we have the shock value. Yes, you heard that right. Left hand turns is not something new to the late model stock tour, but the right handers, little difference. To my knowledge, Jeremy, I haven't really seen anybody that has thrown this car, the late model stock car, on the Roval on a road course. But surprisingly, watching these drivers take this track in practice, these cars seem to be handling it actually quite well, better than my expectations. So definitely have some quick laps out there, but these boys are laying it down tonight.
I mean, I figured it'd be pretty fun, only because these cars are naturally more tighter than like the Xfinity car and like the Cup car and stuff. So like when they're taking the left and right hand corners, it might be a little extra bouncy because the suspension's not built for that thing on the curbs. But through the corners, I would imagine at least the left-handers would be pretty planted. Now, I have no idea how iRacing sets these things up. I know they're left-hand turn cars, so the setups you can't. iRacing sets parameters, right? And so you can't physically shift everything that was on the left to the right because it's not built for that. The chassis is not built for it. The track bars aren't built for it. It's just nothing's going to work. So you can only do so much to make the right-handers work. And so the drivers that take advantage of what they can do on that end of the spectrum, that's probably who's going to be your front runners tonight.
Oh, absolutely. And like I said, I mean, we've set some quick times down tonight already. Right now, your top five fastest, and Jeremy, another thing we got to talk about, we got to thank all the drivers. I don't know what it is about road courses. You and I were talking about this before we went splash, but your statement was people are finally starting to understand that road courses are fun because in two different leagues, we have had road course attendance for drivers higher than some of the oval tracks. 14 drivers tonight, which is, I mean, it's an amazing number over some of the previous races we've had. You know, Slinger was single digit. We've had a couple single digit ones. But 14 drivers are coming out here to battle tonight. So that's a big story tonight. That's going to put more cars on the track, more racing action. And we got drivers in various speed categories, so to speak. Right now, your top five, though, as they sit, is the 18 of Lucas Lyons. You have the 86 of Colt Ainsley. You got the 25 of Bobby Hamilton Jr., the 33 of Will Hewitt, and Scotty Oliver, who was just laying down some laps. We've seen him there a little while. He is in fifth right now. That is your top five on practice times alone. So, Jeremy, it's gearing up to be a damn good race tonight.
As soon as you stop saying Scotty Oliver's name, David Bradford at the last
Of
second
course.
takes the fifth
Every
place.
time.
Did you check that out?
Every
still
time.
learning.
Every time. They got to make liars out of us, Jeremy. They got to make liars out of us.
And they're doing it on the boards there, and they're still learning. And they're going to learn all 40 laps. Well, 30. We had 40 listed on the schedule, but they put it as 30. So, surprise, there's 10 laps shorter than what we expected. But, Dustin, we have not talked about or shown what this track looks like from a driver's perspective, and it is qualifying time. So we're going to get our cameras off your screen, and we're going to ride along with our fastest practice guy, the number 18, Lucas Lyons. Well, actually, he's not on track yet. Let's go to second place. Colt Ainsley in the 86 Chevrolet ZL1, because Camaros in real time are fictional. But he's got the Camaro decals on here.
Dumb move.
Here we go.
Dumb move. All I'm going to say.
You know, and it's kind of funny. He took off. There's no Chevrolet. No, I think there might be a Chevrolet decal on the grill. I don't know, but here we are. We're gonna be riding on the roof cam of what it looks like in a late model stock tour, turning left majority of the time. But then there's some right-handers thrown in.
You know what we could do? Yeah, you know what we could do?
I have such amount of dirty words I could say.
No, man. It's
what do we got?
Not that. I mean, my gosh.
Oh,
We're going to give him a true driver perspective. Because, I mean, why not? With the Oakley visor cam. This is exactly what a driver is going through in a stock car that is designed to literally only make left-hand turns, go around the Charlotte Roval, which throws in a number of right-hand turns.
did you see how much visibility they did not have jumping these curbs? Look at this. The curbs are gone, and now you're just guessing at that point. As you know, these things are built so low to the ground. Yeah, but this is a pretty. We never brought out the Oakley visor cam during qualifying, and look at his handwork. I know we're not like on the driver per se. I feel like there's gonna be a little bit of weird glitching from time to time, based on the replay settings of iRacing, but nonetheless, it's a really cool advantage point to see what they do here on this Roval for race number 7.
But like you said, I mean, we've never done this before, but at the same time, we've never had the late model stock cars at the Charlotte Roval. So, but I mean, you made a valid point, Jeremy. I mean, the field of view is so limited on this. So much is cut off because this track poses stuff that these cars typically do not have to deal with. The curbing, like you said, is one of the big ones. You lose that curbing for about a solid second. So at that point, you're just trying to hold your trajectory. And I noticed in practice, because of the angle that these cars sit, that coming into this section right here has been the most troublesome spot for these cars, trying to make sure that you are staying and keeping your car lined up to hit your corner entries and apexes the way you are. So these drivers are going to have their hands full tonight.
Yes, they are. They really are. And I was talking to, I think, Frank 2 weeks ago on the YouTube chat. We talked about me racing this race, and I never actually officially talked to Dustin about doing it. So I'm in the booth tonight, for those who did tune in last week. Speaking of also the ones that tuned in last week, we had a bunch of, we went back in time, Dustin. We brought out the stop motion camera, and we decided that wasn't in our favor. So we have taken the stop motion camera away. And now we are smoothly sailing on the YouTube and Facebook side again, so I'm glad to see no hiccups. We currently got 4 watching now. We got our largest driver count. Let's see if we can get the largest view count. And also, not to do a complete run on right now, I said my goal, I think, was roughly 20 drivers before this season comes to a close. Double the counts of the standard that they wanted. So we're at 14 tonight. Can we get to 20? That's the goal. For those who are watching, please promote the SRA Late Model Stock Tour. You can join the Discord, get set up in the league. It's a lot of fun. These guys driving these things, doesn't matter what kind of course. Just a great time.
And it really is. I mean, it's these cars, Jeremy, when they released the update to this car model, completely reworked it to bring it closer to the spec of the Cars Tour. I don't know. This car really got fun for me. I love the way it drives. I love the way it handles. I don't know how it handles on the Roval, because I'm going to tell you, I've never gone out there on a road course in the late model stock, but I know on the short tracks, I've had a lot of fun with this car. So, I mean, just the aspect of trying to start up a league and everything else, and the admins and all the people backing SRA, they've stuck with it, been doing a fantastic job. So the numbers are growing, and I love it, because the more drivers we have out there, the more action we can bring to you folks out there live or on video on demand.
And you can get that on the YouTube and Facebook side anytime you want to watch. And Dustin, the right turns at the Roval is ready for grid on pit road. They're going to go one full lap around this beautiful infield road course at Charlotte Motor Speedway. And here's your starting lineup here. Lucas Lyons P1, David Bradford in second. Third place will be AJ Rogers. Fourth, Colt Ainsley. Fifth will be Will Hewitt. Sixth, Bobby Hamilton Jr. Seventh place will be Jason Steptoe. Eighth, Pete Planey. Ninth place, Frank Griffith. 10th place, Scotty Oliver. 11th, Aaron Longworth. 12th, Laszlo Santa. I'm going to go Laszlo Santa. Samuel Longworth in 13th. And then Joshua Ingram is your 14-car lineup for the right turns at the Roval. 30 laps. Fuel mileage, I don't know what that looks like. If I had to assume correctly, it's a one-stop shop to get from here to the end. But as everyone who knows road courses, iRacing does not throw them, and I don't know if the admins will be throwing them. So this might just be a local yellow only night, green flag, all 30 laps.
And it very well could be. I mean, it's where we are treading in new territory right now, Jeremy. So it is all unknown as it sits right now, and you see everybody is passing that 18 car as he is going further backwards. So remember, he did win a race here and has not served his victor's EOL for the start of the race, which will be applied for tonight's race, which is why he received that EOL. And even though he got the pole, because of that win, that's in the rules for this short track series now on a road course for the first time. So he will relinquish that pole now to the 57 of AJ Rogers will be starting in that pole position. 13 of David Bradford will be starting in the second position. We're going to do a texture reload here, something the real guys don't get to do, but when we have people join late, Trading Paints has been having a hard time. So we want to make sure we try to get the most updated paints for you folks out there. So give it a few seconds. Bear with the gray ghost cars there. And apparently the 13 is just going to be a black 13. So,
well, that's actually accurate. It's like the same way on my end, and I can confirm that. Because every single time there's an issue that we think there is, we have a different paint scheme.
We do.
But they match up this time, so we're solid.
Well, good to know. Good to know.
No sponsor, no nothing, just a number 13, straight out of the shop that he purchased the car from. No body work whatsoever.
Could have slapped a for rent, space for rent sign or something on the hood of that thing. So, hey, if you guys are looking to get your name out there, there's at least a car that does not have anything on the hood.
Well, let's see if he can actually bring the hood back after 30 laps at the Roval. Completely unknown territory. You're going to watch it. We're going to learn about it. And we got 2 or 3 corners left. And that's it. We're going to go green flag 30 laps here. 18 to the back. How fast can he drive back to the front? That'll be a fun question to answer. We know he's got speed, but can he go around traffic?
And that's going to be the interesting thing. Like you said, we're all going to be learning this on the fly. Yeah, Brian, for rent, absolutely. But yeah, we're going to be learning this on the fly too. We don't know what to expect. The cars were very racy in practice. Good side-by-side battles, but we're going to find out what happens as a green flag flies. We are underway for the right turns at the Roval. Turn 1 is going to be very, very important as we got a couple people getting loose there out of that kink coming to the start-finish line. And we already have Colt Ainsley already looped it around, but he gets it back going again. Other than that, Jeremy, though, that was a clean turn 1, and that is a pivotal point in this track, especially on the initial start.
I know it was originally sponsored by Tums before they changed the sponsor. It was Heartburn Turn, and it is for quite a bit of drivers who race here. Doesn't matter which series, and cycling through the front here. We're going to see how these leaders tackle around here. They go single file through this straight. Now, after this little corner kink here, Now we're on the NASCAR Oval, turn 1, turn 2. This is where you're going to make some pass setups, drive it, into a bus stop with so many unknowns. So if they go side by side, who knows what's going to happen. But keep
And
it clean. You
braking.
got to keep your fenders on it. We got 30 laps here.
Braking into this bus stop, and you see Bobby Hamilton Jr. locking it up a little bit to make sure he had enough space, but so far it looks like we're clean going through that bus stop right now. Looks like the two of Laszlo Santos got a little slow going through there, but was able to make it through. But that's another tricky spot because not every driver has got the same braking points, and the closing rate on these cars with the field of view being as minimalized as what it is can play hell for some of these drivers.
They really can, and the 18 Lucas Lyons already up to P6 after he dropped to the back, so making quick gains in a hurry. 3.6 seconds back from the race leader, A.J. Rogers, in the 57. Single file all the way through here, through the fast portion of the infield of the track. A little wide goes the 13. David Bradford almost touched the grass, and he's utilizing every ounce of real estate that this infield portion has.
Yeah, and I mean, that's it. You got to. I mean, Jeremy, when you first got me into road racing, that was one thing that you, and you are still teaching me that. I'm still new to the road racing, but is using up every piece of real estate that track can, as long as it doesn't give you that 1X. If it doesn't give you a 1X, then it's fair game. And there's a lot of speed that can be found out in those areas, and that's one thing that I've been learning with every event that we do, that there's extra speed out there, extra ways to shave off a 10th here or 10th there, and that's what these drivers need to do, but they need to do it consistently.
You said you're new to it, but didn't you just finish top 10 in a 12-hour race at Sebring?
Yeah, you did too. So, I mean, there's
Yeah.
that.
Well, I mean, there is that, but you did have to drive a third of that race, so kudos to you, Mr. Newbie, for doing it 1 year ago, starting it fresh. He's learned a lot real quick, and these guys are learning the same way, on the fly majority of the time here. Oh, the 18 Lucas Lyons, he curb hopped the crap out of the infield turn 1 curbs, almost wrecked the thing, and thankfully kept it going straight. No one's tested the caution period. I don't think there's going to be any admin cautions unless it's something atrocious, but we'll find out as he's now going to run the number 50 Jason Steptoe. This will be for P4.
Yeah, and he is just slinging that thing. You can see that thing yaw out as he goes through the corners. He is giving and taking everything that car is going to give it. He moves himself into P4. Remember, he had to start EOL by virtue of a race win, so he had to start at the back. Now he's got to try to track down the 25 of Bobby Hamilton Jr. That is going to be the next driver he's trying to track down. But look at that distance as they're now just going through the bus stop while Lucas Lyons is working his way down that backstretch section. And actually, Bobby Hamilton Jr. had lost a little bit of ground on your front two of A.J. Rogers and David Bradford, but he is slowly starting to creep in through some of those tight corner sections. So this could become more from a 2-car battle here between Rogers and Bradford to a 3-car battle. And if they keep doing that, it could turn into a 4-car battle if Lucas Lyons keeps up what he's doing.
Yeah, as you mentioned creeping in, I looked over and the YouTube at one point had 6 viewers, so the viewers starting to creep in a little bit more too. And ooh, on my screen here, the 33 Will Hewitt using every ounce of real estate again, brushing that wall between turn 1 and turn 2. No harm, no foul though for the 33, so he's going to keep on moving forward. And Dustin's got something on the Nerd TV replay. Do we have our first crash of the evening? Maybe. Let's see, turn 1. What does it offer here?
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Maybe. Yeah, there it was.
Oh, yeah.
Stop before hitting it, but he's going to lose a lot of time. That's the 42 of Aaron Longworth. Has to throw that thing in reverse to get it going. Lost a lot of time. But Jeremy, it's a road course, 30 laps. There's a lot of time to make that up, but you have to minimize those incidents.
Yeah, I mean, you can definitely do what you can on that end of it, but he just destroyed the front tires by locking it up, so he's got to cool those things down. And Dustin, we got a race for the lead. The 13, David Bradford, is there all over the back bumper after that exit of the bus stop. He has been slowly creeping into the 0.2, 0.1 region away from the 57, and he's finally there. And now he's just got to figure out, how do I pass a car that's equal in speed as me on a road course?
And that's the tough thing. A lot of the times, just making your presence known, and right there he gets that run on the inside. He's going to take that spot from A.J. Rogers. But what I was saying is sometimes just making your presence known might be enough to kind of rattle the cage, metaphorically, not Dale Sr. style, but enough to rattle the cage metaphorically to make that driver slip up a little bit, overdrive the corners, and create those openings. And that's what happened there. Not saying that A.J. Rogers got rattled or anything else, but he overdrove that corner exit there, and the 13 of David Bradford was able to stick the nose down low and hold it.
I'm going to make a quick mention here. Shout out to the 18 Lucas Lyons. In practice, this man was 7/10 faster than the second fastest time. In qualifying, he was 6/10 faster than the fastest time. He had to go back to the EOL, end of longest line, to start this race. And then he has advanced into 4th place now already. And just in 2 laps, he's gained almost 2 entire seconds on the field. The 18 will be here. He will be in the lead. At what point, though? As we're only 5 laps in, Dustin has a replay here. Oh, this could be...
Scotty Oliver.
Yeah, what's going on? He's already in the back of the field here, this shot. He's got... Oh, there he goes.
There it was. A little bit of the curb there, and it just got loose enough to break the weight up on that. Remember, when we talked to Scotty Oliver, he said that road course is not his strong point, but he said he was still going to give it one hell of an effort there. But his team car, though, you were talking about it, Lucas Lyons making his way further forward, has now caught up to the 25 of Bobby Hamilton Jr. This is going to be a battle for 3rd place position within the Nerd TV podium, Jeremy.
Yeah, he's about to probably pass Bobby Hamilton Jr. I heard that grenade. I heard it.
That's not... This is bad. There was 4 cars in this one here. What happened? 3 wide going into turn 1. Boys, that's never going to work. Oh, what happened? What happened? Right there.
Oh, wow.
Oh,
wow.
man. Carnage.
Wow.
Oh, and the 42 of Aaron Longworth got in there. He had nowhere to go. The whole track was blocked. I mean, there was nothing for the poor guy.
There is very little wiggle room to get around any wreck in that turn number 2. And that's going to just answer the question of, will it be an admin caution? Nope. If there was going to be a caution, it was going to be for that, and we did not see one. So, yeah, no, that was a heavy crash there. Probably the biggest crash we've seen at the Roval to date.
Yeah, that was a tough one, and it looked like the 7 on the high side of Samuel Longworth got loose after going through turn 1 and going down that little straight before entering turn 2, and it just cut right down into Frank Griffith, and Frank had nowhere to go but straight down into the 56 of Joshua Ingram. So, and then we already talked about the 42 of Aaron Longworth literally had nowhere to go. I mean, it was a block track at that point in time.
And the number 7, Samuel Longworth, he drove away from that wreck, but then he blew the engine. So the number 7 is out for tonight's race, as we're still keeping track of the front running spots here on your screen. 2nd, 3rd, and 4th. The 18 has advanced to 3rd. He's going to take the quick cut underneath the 57. Does he drive below the blue line? It is an advantage to run below the blue line here at the Roval. You're not up the full speed in turn 3, so you don't have to worry about the apron and the angle of the banking to slow you down or whatnot. Here we go. He's going to make a great effort. Makes the pass nice and easy. Just like that. Under, what's it, 2.5 seconds now? No. Yeah, 2.3 is the difference between Lucas Lyons and back to being the race leader.
Yeah, race leader still David Bradford. Since he was able to get around the 57 of A.J. Rogers, has stretched that lead out quite a bit. So Lucas Lyons has a little bit of work to try to track him down. But Jeremy, like you said, he's already come from the back to P2 now. So he is tracking to make his way up to the 13. And like I said, he's putting down some blistering times. AJ Rogers falls back to P3 now after being up front so strong and leading early in this race, the right turns at the Roval. So that is, right now as it sits, your Nerd TV podium. David Bradford in the 13, Lucas Lyons now in P2 in that 18, and AJ Rogers in that 57 and P3, but Bobby Hamilton Jr. is tracking him down as well as we speak. So this could be a battle for third here, Jeremy, in about a lap or so.
Yeah, it's definitely heating up here, and this is a crucial spot because you get to talk to one of us, probably me, more than likely, at the end of the race if you finish third. And so, top fives count on the board, but top three counts to us. And we got time here. We're going to shout out one of our partners here without a rotating commercial break. And Victory Fuel, the official hydration partner of the Nerditudes. And so this beverage is a smaller can. I think it's about 12 ounces in total. It's got a great flavor, packed full of vitamins. But that's it. There's no artificial coloring. There's no caffeine. But the energy comes from those vitamins. And so, and it keeps you very well hydrated. So if you're looking to, share the drink with not just yourself, but the whole family, the kiddos, the wife, whoever wants them, they got 3 great flavors to choose from. And you're going to find them all at drinkvictory.com. Promotion code SUPERNERD. It's going to save you 10% off your purchase.
Yeah, 10% off the purchase. Big time battle here right now as you were going over that ad read. Bobby Hamilton Jr. makes the pass on the inside of the 57 of AJ Rogers. Mark Bobby Hamilton Jr. up to P3 now within the Nerd TV podium. But that was a big battle as now Rogers was looking to the inside, but that was good race etiquette. You know, Jeremy, that's one thing you told me is if you have that position, then you take it. But if you don't have the position, meaning you don't have a nose on the inside, you back off and you wait to attack at a different corner. Otherwise, you're just going to stack it up. But AJ Rogers going the wrong way right now, Jeremy, is the 33 of Will Hewitt. Just passed him for P4. As Hewitt's now trying to track down Bobby Hamilton Jr. for P3.
Yeah, he's got to cool off those Hoosier tires and see what he can't do in the back half of this race to, compensate for that. And if there is pit stop, they're probably going to see him at the halfway mark. So about 5 laps or so, we'll know if indeed you have to pit or not in tonight's race. So we are at the line. We'll be 1/3 completed through this race, 30 laps. We're on lap 10 now, 21 to go. Minus that massive crash in turn 4 and then the opening kink there to start off the green flag. It's been relatively clean, except for maybe a couple wall scrapes like the 57 just did. But outside of that, there you go. Look at your race leader, the 13. Still holds a 1.7 second lead over a very fast Lucas Lyons.
Yeah, the lead has shrank from where we talked about before. It was 2.3 seconds roughly. Once Lucas Lyons did pass AJ Rogers at that time for P2, but he's not tracking in Bradford as fast as he did some of the other drivers. Bradford running a very solid line, very consistent, so it's becoming a lot harder to try to track him down, but he is pulling him in though, as Will Hewitt just passed Bobby Hamilton Jr. Hewitt mark him up for the first time tonight into the Nerd TV podium positions in P3 right now. And like you said, Jeremy, this is new territory. I don't know if, they're going to have to pit. I wouldn't, I don't know. They run 100% fuel load. But again, these cars weren't designed to be on a road course, so we have no idea when pits are going to happen or not.
Yep, no notebook to be reading off of because there is none. Does not exist. This is all brand new territory for not just us, but probably 95% of the drivers in this field. As we're getting nice little long shot coverages of I'm trying to remember the corner. I think this is turn 5 and 6, if I'm not mistaken. And then back onto the oval side, turn 1 and turn 2. Little side-by-side action. Here's the 25 Hamilton, 57 Rogers. As Hamilton slow on the inside and just gives it up to the 57.
Yeah, 57 starting to come back there. So I don't know. there could be some strategy too. Like I said, you stated it better than anybody else. There is no notebook for this race, and even if there was, our notebook has turned out to be invalid and incorrect, whether it's Jeremy's notebook or mine. So we've thrown those damn things out long time ago. But I mean, there could be fuel strategy too. I mean, they may be close, and if they conserve, they may be able to make it and stretch it. I don't know. So there's so many unknown variables right now, Jeremy, that could be taking place that we don't have any idea. Bobby Hamilton Jr. is coming down pit road as we speak.
Is this strategy, or is this just him backing it down and calling it? He was really slow that last lap there on the back straightaway, so I don't know if this is scheduled or not. We're going to find out if he stays in or gets out.
He's
got
getting
the car
tires
jacked up, so at least there's that.
So this looks like it could be a scheduled one, and if that's the case, then that's your first leaders coming down pit road for scheduled service on their car. So, Jeremy, the question is when are we going to see the other leaders come down? We know that road racing always throws in strategy. It's not just about speed, consistency, hitting your marks, but strategy also counts. Coming in and getting those tires. You know, if you stay out on older tires, the differential, the delta differential between how much time you lose on the track on older tires and the drivers going out there and putting down fast laps on newer tires, and when the end of the race actually comes in. So there's a lot of factors, Jeremy, that we're going to see unfold right along with everybody else.
I'm definitely putting it at the halfway mark if it's me. If I'm on lap 15 coming to 16, that's where I'm pinning, just because of the unknowns of how long you can run on these tires. And so if you can make it halfway, that's good enough for me. That's all the data I want. So Hamilton's going to take that 5 laps prior. And here we go.
The second taker.
Stop number 2 of the night.
That's going to be Cole Ainsley right now coming down pit road. So this is your second stop of your lead lap drivers coming down. So again, we've seen it started, Jeremy. Question is everybody going to come down to pit, or are you going to have some risk takers that if they can make it on fuel, maybe they stay out there even though those tires are screaming at them every time they turn that wheel left or right?
Yeah. We'll see. They're going to trickle in here probably one by one. And if they come down in a group, well, they're so spaced out it wouldn't matter. So feel free to just run complete your own strategy without anybody else interfering with you. And the 18 Lucas Lyons has fallen back further. He was up to 1.7 seconds back, and now he's 2.4. So he's finally lost that steam that he had driving through the field. So he might be one of the ones that shortcuts the pit stop by maybe 1 lap. Just try to get that advantage back.
Yeah. And, I mean, it may not be a bad call, Jeremy. We've seen the short pit work out, I mean, completely how it is. And A.J. Rogers down on the apron, looks like we have him coming into the service of his pit crew. But we've seen the short pit work in some situations, and we've seen the short pit not work. So that's why racing is not just a sport of skill. Sometimes it's a sport of gambling, too. And sometimes you got to have Lady Luck on your side. And if you don't, she makes you pay.
Does she ever? She really will. If you missed the mark by just a little bit, she's you're going strike and be there ready for you. So be up on your toes the entire time here. 17 laps to go in the right turns at the Roval. Pit stops are sequencing through. We're going to take our first picture break. We will be right back.
Racing isn't just about speed, it's about style. At DC Designs, we turn your vision into reality, creating high performance, custom paint jobs that make you stand out on the track. From bold, aggressive designs to sleek, minimalist styles, our designs bring passion, precision, and creativity to every project. Whether you're racing for fun or glory, your car deserves to look as fierce as it drives. Ready to dominate the track with a look that turns heads? DC Designs is your one-stop shop for custom iris and paint schemes. Visit DC Designs on Facebook today and let us know what you want. DC Designs, design for champions.
Hey, can you do me a favor? I'm really hungry, but I'm trapped in here, and I dropped my last piece of boozy jerky on the floor. I can't reach it. Would you mind grabbing me a bag of the most tender, flavorful booze-infused jerky on the planet? I promise I'll pay you back. I mean, I'd eat my piece, but I can't reach it. Oh, actually, I got it. Oh, it's so good. It's so tender, so flavorful. You should really pick yourself up a bag. But if you do, you can't eat it in here. Now, this is my spot. I own this spot. Boozy Jerky, the original booze-infused beef jerky with a pair, now available.
And back full screen here, and we were under commercial break when we had a wreck there on the bus stop between the 118 Scotty Oliver and the number 50 Jason Steptoe. Nerd TV replay. Here you go. Side by side, the 118 is going to give it up. But then they found each other. Boop. And so there's two ways to look at it. The first one, I think the 118 was trying to cross-cut like he was single file and just came across and it was the 50. But then the 50 was like, hey, that was my fault. And I was like, okay, well, why is it the 50's fault? And maybe he thought he was pinching him on the curb where you're not used to, running with those things because it's kind of a tight pinch. I could see that. But then the 118 didn't have that angle to be side by side. So just a little mix of communication there on a track that they're very unfamiliar with.
Yeah, and it's so tough on this here. And Jeremy, I mean, one thing we got to talk about too is these cars were not meant to brake under the conditions for a road course. I mean, their braking is set up for short tracks and everything else, and that's one thing that drivers were talking about is when they get on the brakes because of the speeds they're carrying, these cars will lock it up. Even with adjusting the brake bias, they have a tendency to lock it up. And Jeremy, you know as well as I do, but some of the people viewing may not, that when you lock up your brakes, if anybody lives in an area with snow, if you lock your brakes up and try to turn the wheels, that car does not turn. It just keeps going in the direction of the forward momentum that it was already carrying. So that is something that the drivers have been talking about that they've been struggling with as well throughout this race.
Yeah, absolutely. They're in got 12, 13 laps to go now. Pit stops have kind of cycled through. Lucas Lyons back 29.6 seconds back versus, the guy who's been up front this whole race so far. I think the only one to not pit, the number 13, David Bradford. How much longer do you extend it? You have to realize.
I don't think Scotty Oliver has pit either. I don't think he has. No, Scotty Oliver is the other one that has not pitted. That's what slotted him in P4 right now. So this is that strategy that if they do have enough fuel packed in that fuel cell to make it to the end, do they risk it by staying out there on tires that are completely torqued off at them right now because they're worn, they're heated? But that might be the strategy is, we got some action right in front of the leader there. That was Pete Polini there in the 57 of Frank Griffith. It looked like Pete had to check up because Frank had some struggle getting through the that last bus stop there. But didn't look like it slowed up our race leader, David Bradford, not one bit.
Nope, did not look like it. I don't think these guys can make it on fuel, and if they can, I would, if you had the option, I would definitely be staying out because the time on pit road is gonna far succumb the amount of time you would lose just by throttling it down a little bit each lap. So I'd be on the camp of staying out. As the 18, I'm watching Lucas Lyon, man. This guy is digging. He is sliding around a bunch of these corners, throwing all the caution to the wind as far as saving those Hoosier tires. I see many more corners he slides through. I know they're probably just out the temp, but man, turn 1, turn 2, Dustin, and he was a little bit of Gincana action.
Oh no, and it looks like we have some
Uh-oh.
action on the track. This is going to involve Bobby Hamilton Jr. What happened with him? That was just exiting the bus stop, now going through NASCAR 3 and 4, and it looks like he just pulls it down off the track.
That's what he did kind of last week. He got involved in or 2 weeks ago, he got involved in a wreck and just yeeted across the track into pit road, and that was it for the 25. And maybe a similar situation here tonight. So the guy who'd been practicing qualifying up in the top 5 all session long, gonna back it down here early. And so right now 6 cars, Dustin. Only 6 have the lead lap.
Yeah, 6 have the lead lap, but we were talking about the strategy, Jeremy. So the amount of time that was used on pit road for Lucas Lyons to come down to the service, if David Bradford can make it on fuel, that time is just added to the split differential between Bradford and Lyons right now. And yeah, right now Lyons is faster than Bradford, but in order to make that up, he has to run that car hard. And Jeremy, you've already made mention, he is pushing that machine, sliding corners and everything else. But you and I are fully aware that at a certain time, the tires will equalize. The lap times between worn tires and fresher tires that finally get to that will equalize, and they will essentially be pulling the same time. The question is that split differential right now between first and second, Bradford and Lyons, is that too great for even Lyons to make up, no matter how fast and consistent he's running right now?
I don't know. I don't think there's enough time. That's my guess. I'm surprised that if you have to pit, David has not pitted yet. If 4 goes at that time around, we're on lap 21, so 10 laps remaining in the right turns at the Roval. No sign of it, Dustin. 2 cars trying to go the distance, and you can insert the line right after that.
He's going for speed. Sorry.
There you go. There it is. Got him.
And there you go. There's that curbing there. And again, so tough to know where that curbing is actually slotted at with the visibility on here. But man, Lyons is hitting that curbing and hitting it big time. So, man, it's tough. He's going through these corners faster, but that makes me wonder if the 13 of Bradford may be trying to throttle some of these corners to conserve some fuel. I mean, he's got a 30.5-second lead right now over Lyons. He has got plenty of time, if it is that close, for him to throttle it, to clutch it, to do whatever he has to try to save. And I mean, maybe that's what he's doing.
Very well could be, but at the same, I'm looking at the lap times, Dustin. David is faster than Lucas Lyons. The past 3 laps, he's extended that lead. It was at 29.5. Now it's at 30.5 seconds. So whatever he's doing, he's found magic in that 13. Jumping over their TV replay, Frank Giff at 54. This car's already destroyed. What more does he have to offer us? Well, bus stop action.
Gets loose, has to lock it down, gets out of the racing surface, has to yield. Good save, though. I mean, it got a little loose, could have been way worse, but, I mean, we already know his car is damaged from that incident that took place entering turn 2 where it blocked the track and everything else. You can visibly see the damage. And, Jeremy, it looks like we've got an issue with the driver that was running third place, Will Hewitt. As he's going through the bus stop here, see what happened with the 33. And
that's not an issue.
That's not an issue. That's we seen that already with Bobby Hamilton Jr. He just pulled down to the bottom and just called it, which is surprising. I mean, running top 3. So not sure what's going on there. Is now our third place sitter now for Scotty Oliver coming to the service of his pit crew. That's going to give third place to the 86 of Colt Ainsley. Will take over that third spot as Scotty Oliver comes to the service of his virtual pit crew. So we'll see what goes on with that. Scotty's going to fall down to 5th now as A.J. Rogers will surpass him while he's taking service in pit road, Jeremy. So right now, that 3rd, 4th, and 5th kind of shaking up a little bit as Lucas Lyons still trying to close down and track down the 13 of David Bradford.
That's 2 drivers have just randomly aborted mission mid-track. So kind of curious to see what was up with that decision there. But 31.3 seconds. David Bradford still continuing his gap over Lucas Lyons.
33.2.
33.
That's
33.2.
why Lucas Lyons just spun. I seen that differential sitting here going up. Looks like pushing that car caught up to the 18 of Lucas Lyons. He's going through that little kink there just before. Oh, curb hopped it. Oh, man. And he lost so much time there. That's going to be tough, Jeremy. I don't. There's no coming back from that at that point in time. He lost so much time curb hopping it through that final kink before the start-finish line.
Yeah, that was a double kink there. You get the little red and white curbing, and then you get the big turtle curbing. And that was the one who sent the 18 around. 37 seconds separates those two now. And I think he's got to be going all the way, right, Dustin?
He's
I know
got
he's got this bigger lead, but he's playing the intimidation factor if he does have to pit. They're making him second guess their fuel strategy, but it's pretty bizarre. We got 4 in the lead lap. Colt Ainsley in 3rd at 1 minute 17 seconds back, and then 4th place AJ Rogers, 1 minute 23 seconds back. Everybody else one lap down and more, including one of the guys who have not pitted yet. That's Scotty Oliver, who just dropped back to 6th.
No, Scotty Oliver did pit. He was running P3. Yeah, that's what relinquished the 3rd place and 4th place to Ainsley and Rogers respectively. Was him coming down pit road. So he is on fresh tires out there running P6, trying to chase down Laszlo Santa for that top 5, which is a pivotal battle point. That is a stat in the stat column. Top 5s and top 10s. Top 3 is just a Nerd TV stat column. That's just to come up here and chat with us nerds up in the booth post race. But it's I don't know, Jeremy. With the way things are going right now, it is looking like with 7 laps to go. After Bradford crosses the line this time, only 6 laps left in the right turns at the Roval. Everything is pointing in the direction that he can make it to the end on fuel.
There you go. Stats by Dustin Longston. As we got 6 laps to go here for the right turns at the Roval. Shout out to one of our partners that does not have a commercial that rotates through our visual side is Dusty Pete's Gifts and Collectibles. If you're looking for collectibles and memorabilia, comics and action figures, you're going to visit these guys at DustyPete's.com. They're based out of New York, local shop. Their local website has all of their in-stock items also on the website. So just show on up. It's just like you walked inside his actual store there in New York. Pick out what you want. Thousands of comic books. You got trading cards of all kinds and many other things nerdy. And so DustyPete's.com. Super Nerd at checkout. It's going to save you 15% or more of your purchase of $20 online.
Absolutely. And Jeremy, we got some damage on the front nose there of the 18. So I don't know if that was by virtue of that curb hop there when he hit the turtles, but I've seen he's been a lot looser and a lot more of the wobbles coming out of some of these corners than what previously we have seen that man wheel that car. So maybe some handling issues now. That car just may be spent. There we go, Jeremy Bradford coming down pit road. If there's ever a time that Lucas Lyons can make up the difference, this is that time right now.
Well, he dropped back, I think in total 7 or 8, even 9 seconds after the 18 pitted. So, yeah. I don't think he's going to be able to do anything. Right now, the 18's off of oval turn 4, and there's your exit. So, yeah, not going to be a factor.
Nope.
The 18 as a 13 is just going to have a commanding lead after the pit stop. 5 laps to go.
And I think I mean, with that service, Jeremy, he just gassed it and went. I mean, Lucas Lyons did make up 20 seconds as he was 35 plus seconds behind. He's now just under 15 seconds, right around that 15-second mark. But with the amount of laps left, that was a short pit stop with the way that these late model stock cars and the length of their pit stops. I'm saying that was just a gas and go to get him to the end with the lead that he had.
That's all he needed. It's all he needed to do to secure that victory. Put the fuel in it. And off he goes. Everybody else, I think, for the most part, took the 4 tires, at least some sort of amount of tires on their machines. And we got 4.5 laps. Commanding lead. You know, the 13, 18, the 86 and the 57 are only 10 seconds separated. That might be your only, like, iffy spot to see who talks to us, but most likely it's going to be that Colt Ainsley machine, the 86. I think it's his first time starting here at SRA in 2025 for their inaugural season. This is race 7 at the moment. This is a bi-weekly series, so you'll not catch us next week live, but the week after, we do have a schedule, and that schedule is going to ship us to Stafford Speedway for 150 laps, April 17th. That is 2 Thursdays from now, 9 p.m., 8 Central.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's going to take a mistake by the 86 for that gap to close up, that 10-second differential between Ainsley and Rogers. That's what it's going to take. These cars at this point in time they're taxed. They are taxed. They're ready to throw the towel in. The tires are screaming at them if you're in a situation like Bradford right now, where he just gassed it and dropped the jack and just dropped the hammer and left pit road. But I mean, that's a strategy call, and it's working out. You know, he still has a 15-second lead, 15.2 at the time that I'm talking about it right now. So, I mean, it's going to take a mistake out of the 13 for Lucas Lyons to try to make up some more of that ground that he lost when he himself made a mistake on that last kink hitting the turtle there coming to the start-finish line.
Yeah. Just try to imagine if maybe he realized that he could only take fuel and be fine. I know these tires don't have a lot of tire wear. They build up a lot of heat, these Hoosiers do. Tire wear is not really crucial. So if you keep them cool, you could probably realistically run 50, 60 laps. I would imagine the 18 just cuts the curbing again there in the final section before the start-finish line. But if you just take care of the tires, which the 18 has not been doing, then you could smooth sail for quite a bit of time. And that's what the 13 had been doing, and that's what the gap is now 15.2. So he's really taking it easy.
Oh, yeah. And, I mean, he doesn't have to push it. I mean, he can nurse those tires. I mean, those tires have been out there for a lot of laps, a lot of corners, not just lefties, but righties as well. He's passed a number of cars and everything else. So he can nurse it from this point on and not really batter and abuse those tires anymore and still have a comfortable buffer. As long as he keeps that car pointed in the right direction, which is going forward. He cannot afford a mistake at this point in time. Even though if the 18 caught up to him, Jeremy, I don't know if the 18 would have the tires to be able to battle right now as hard as he's been running either. So a lot of factors can play in there. And that's the great thing about road racing, Jeremy. There's so many variables, so many unknowns that it always keeps you on the edge of your seat. It always keeps you guessing.
Yeah, 100% there. 2 laps remaining. We have almost 5 miles left in this race, and it is over for 30 laps for the right turns at the Roval. And 18 still struggling a little bit here through the kink there. Cycling out. Here's the 57. Here's the 18 just kind of glancing over everybody one last time before this race is all settled in for the evening. This is really damage number 2. That's going to be Laszlo Santa. Yeah, maybe we'll get a pronunciation on that one. But
I feel we're butchering that name. I am almost confident that we are butchering that name, and if we are, we apologize on that.
It's got to be odd. Well, I don't know, because it's got the accentuation over the A for the first A. So it's like Santa, but Santa doesn't sound right because that's our mythical creature that lives in the North Pole. So lap and a half, Justin. We're almost there to the finish. David Bradford 1-for-1 of the season as long as he holds on to this thing.
Yeah, and we were talking about this during the picture-in-picture commercial break, Jeremy. This has surprisingly been a lot better than my expectations. As you see Bradford take the white flag, one more lap around for the driver of the 13, but it has pleasantly exceeded my expectations for what this was, which I can tell you right now, with a car not designed to run on this style track, my expectations initially were way low. So the bar was set way, way low on that. But with, I mean, the strategy, the racing, it's just everything that's put in here, it has surprisingly proved to me wrong that how good this race can go right now.
Great question. Next question.
Was that a question?
I don't know.
I'm losing you, Jeremy. I'm losing you.
No. We are good. I'm just having some fun up here on the final lap of race number 7 of the SRA Late Model Stock Tour inaugural season. Couple corners left for this man right here, David Bradford. You have 2 oval corners, 2 road course kinks, and the checker flag is yours. Here we go.
Working through 3 and 4 into the final set of kinks right now. Nice and easy. Doesn't have to push it. Final one, race winner of the right turns at the Roval, David Bradford in the 13.
Now we're going to wait for E2, which is eons behind. Here's second place. He's just now to make it to the oval turn 3. So now turn 3, now 4. He's just driving the car left and right because there's no reason to be serious anymore because he's got all the time in the world and he's got 30 seconds of space between him and third. Why not get one more X? Why not? There you go. Lucas Lyons P2.
Is he out of fuel?
I hope not.
Hey, that might have been why he was wobbling it. I don't know. We'll have to ask him.
Cut the curb that reason too, and all right, there's a little more of that answer to why he just did that. But now here's the 30 or 86. Colt Ainsley, the last person we're going to talk to the Nerd TV podium. P3 for the driver, the number 86, and right behind him the 57, AJ Rogers, your last car on the lead lap. And this will signal the actual end of tonight's 30-lap event at the Roval. AJ Rogers brings it home, P4.
Like I said, surprisingly better than expected. I wasn't expecting that amount of racing action. I was honestly expecting more carnage because of these cars not meant to and designed to be ran on this. Like you said, these chassis are predetermined and preset to go left only. And, I mean, besides that one big accident we had going into turn 2, I mean, it was a fairly clean race. Even some of the single car incidents, Jeremy, we didn't have very many of them. It was a lot better than I expected.
Yeah, I had no expectations of this thing, and that was actually, quite good. And really appreciate the 14 driver turnout here tonight. 13 does not know my rule. I heard you react to that. I looked up immediately, and he was breathing that wall.
He was breathing that wall.
Here we are. And that is it. I mean, I guess we could go over the unofficial results, but we kind of already listed them. But why not? There's the visuals on your screen there. Your top 3, of course. David, Lucas, Colt. Then you have AJ, Laszlo, Scotty, Aaron, Pete, Frank, Jason, Will, Bobby, Joshua, and Samuel. There's your 14 cars on the unofficial results tab.
Shout out to Pete Pelini on that top 10. I mean, he got 8th place there. So I know he's caught a couple of these and they have not gone his way, and he's finished further back. So shout out to Pete Pelini on that one as well, and Frank Griffith still getting a top 10, and Jason Steptoe after all this stuff that happened with them. And how about Aaron Longworth? He had nowhere to go in that turn 2 situation, and still pulled in a top 10 on that, just 2 spots out of the top 5. So solid run and rebound for some of these drivers.
Yeah, good stuff there. And we're going to go full screen now. We're going to gather up those top 3, and that'll take only just a couple seconds. So 1 or 2 commercials, and we'll be right there.
Hey, can you do me a favor? I'm really hungry, but I'm trapped in here, and I dropped my last piece of boozy jerky on the floor. I can't reach it. Would you mind grabbing me a bag of the most tender, flavorful booze-infused jerky on the planet? I promise I'll pay you back. I mean, I'd eat my piece, but I can't reach it. Oh, actually, I got it. Oh, it's so good. It's so tender, so flavorful. You should really pick yourself up a bag. But if you do, you can't eat it in here. Now, this is my spot. I own this spot. Boozy Jerky, the original booze-infused beef jerky with a pair, now available.
And welcome now to the Nerd TV post-race show presented by Icon Apparel Company. And we got 2 of our top 3. We did have all 3 of them, but Lucas backed out of Discord. Let's see if he rejoins. So we're going to bring in our 3rd place finisher, the driver of the number 86, Colt Ainsley. Congrats, man. P3 opening race.
Yeah, man. I mean, minus turn 1 lap 1, it was actually pretty decent.
Hey, you recovered. That's all that matters. Kept it on the lead lap. First off, welcome to League. How'd you hear about us? And second off, do you have any road course experience with these cars?
Well, this is actually like my 3rd race, I think, but I've just kind of been getting in here piddling, just get some seat time. And but as for road course, I've turned quite a few laps here at the Roval. Just never. Actually, I just got back on iRacing probably about a month ago, after about a 3-year break, and this car wasn't even on here. It was still the old Gen 4 looking one. So yeah, no experience with this car, but it was a lot of fun. I thought they were going to be really glued to the track in a slot car, but you actually had to hustle them around.
Okay, I was kind of curious because the chassis are so geared toward left turns only that I had no idea what the setup was going to look like turning right. So, like on some of those right-handers, like your turn 3 and 4, that sweeping right-hander, like how did it drive?
I mean, I didn't really feel a huge difference in left to right, especially with the Roval where it's mostly right turns, and it wasn't too bad. Actually, the biggest thing was the brakes. Like the first couple laps, they were like so cold they would just they'd lock up like it was nothing. And so yeah, that was the biggest thing, was keeping up with getting the brakes up to temperature and not burning the rear tires off after you got them up to temperature.
Yeah, 10 for on that, man. Well, we're gonna let you go, but before we do, any final shout-outs before we do so?
Just Frank for putting on this league. Everybody who showed up. I was the last race I was at, we only had like 6 cars, I think, and looking at the results, we had 14. So really proud of everybody for showing up tonight. Even the people who I know don't like road courses came out here and gave it a shot. Congrats to David on the win. He's dang near impossible to beat and gonna be my teammate next season in the Pro Sims. So got to make sure I'm not the weak link in the chain. So I got to step it up a little bit.
There you go. Under pressure, the number 86, Colt Ainsley, for this coming season and year. But all right, man, congrats on P3. And maybe we'll catch you next week, and hopefully we'll have 14 drivers again. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, man.
That's Colt Ainsley, driver the number 86. Now we're going to bring in first place because Lucas Lyons is not in here. So To the Icon Apparel Company, Victory Lane, the number here. 13, David Bradford. Congrats, man, on the win.
Hey, man, appreciate that.
Oh, yeah, stroll in the park. I thought Lucas Lyons was going to catch you all and just destroy y'all because his practice times and qualifying times are so much faster. And then where did you come from? Taking that really late pit stop, the only person I think not take tires, maybe one of two drivers at most. And so was that just something in the back of your head of how to beat the 18 and the guys that were in front of you at that time?
I don't know, man. I was kind of just watching my lap times, and the lap times weren't falling off like they should have, so I really didn't see a need to do it. And, you know, when you're holding like a 3-second lead, you can kind of watch and see who's doing what. And to me, it was like when they came in and they got fuel, they weren't as fast as they were before then. So I just decided to stay the course and ran it as long as I possibly could and just put just enough fuel in to make it. I think if Lucas could have started up front with me, I think, you know, we might be having a different conversation. I think him having to come through the field burned his stuff up a little bit when he got to me. So, was a good night though.
Yeah, absolutely. Me and Dustin were talking about how, like, mainly Dustin, how, like, he was thoroughly pleased with how this race was going to did turn out, just because we didn't know so many unknowns here. And so, from your perspective, how do these cars handle with right-hand turns?
So the biggest thing I noticed with these cars is it makes so I run direct drive steering wheels. It makes the steering wheel a lot heavier, and I didn't have enough time before the race to knock it down a little bit. So I've been fighting a really heavy wheel just the whole race. But the car actually points really well. It's got a little bit of when it's on the brakes, it kind of pushes a bit. So only getting 3 laps of practice and then trying to figure that out as the race went on was a bit of a challenge, but staying off the brakes for me on this car seems to be the way to go.
Which will give you less tire heat, which will preserve your tires and make your long run that much easier to run, man. And you figured it out. So congrats on the victory. Any shout outs before we let you go?
Yeah, just got to thank Frank for putting all this stuff on. I know he does a great job here, and, you know, look forward to working with him in the future and keeping this stuff going.
All right, man. That's the driver of the 13, David Bradford, man. Congrats, and we'll see you probably in 2 weeks.
Thanks, Jeremy.
Yes, sir. That is right turns, late model stock 2 and Dustin. These guys were not intimidated, and they said it drove very similar as the left turns. So, where's your shocked face at?
This is my shocked face. No, it did. I mean, I'm still new to the road racing scene. I still have that oval racer style mentality on stuff, but you and the rest of the Nerdy Sports team have been slowly bringing me around. Road racing has been very enjoyable. The special events have been enjoyable, things like that. So I didn't know, you know how I am when you go to throw a stock car on a road course. It has a different vibe with me, a different feel, and yet, like you said, that X, I usually don't dig it. It's just stock cars for me are meant to go in circles. That's how they are. But I was surprised at how well these cars handled, how well the drivers handled side by side racing. You know what they were able to do with these cars. You know, hats off to Bradford. 3 laps of practice, and he had to overcome some surprises throughout the race and still get the dub. So, I mean, hats off to him on that one. It's not easy to get a win at a road course, and a lot of road courses, it's not easy to run them either. They are a challenging track. So, for these drivers that stuck it out, 14 drivers, I cannot commend you guys enough. Bradford, Lyons, Ainsley, Rogers, Saintha, Oliver, Longworth, that's Aaron Longworth, Pete Polini, Griffith, Steptoe, Hewitt, Bobby Hamilton Jr., Samuel Longworth, and Joshua Ingram. Kudos for you guys coming out here and putting on an awesome show that surprised even myself when it come to this. So look forward to seeing you guys out here on the track more, because I tell you what, you guys put on a hell of a show. And if you guys can put on a hell of a show doing left and right hand turns, man, I can only imagine we sit here and get these numbers again next week, and we just continue growing like that on what you guys can do on a short track.
Let's do it. Let's make it happen. Let's get 14 plus next or 2 weeks from now at Stafford. That would be fun to watch. And Let's set the standard. Let's get closer and closer to that number 20 on the entry starting lineup toward the end of the season. So, that being said, though, this is the end of our broadcast here this evening. We're going to catch us live Sunday, 6 Central, 7 Eastern, for the Global Racing League Truck Series. And you guys have a good rest of your evening. Stay safe. Get your nerd on.
And as always, it is not goodbye. It's just till next time. Stay nerdy.
Back when nothing truly mattered